Hi guys, 18Dap here and welcome to the latest matchday preview on the channel. Big one this weekend, it's Bradford versus Doncaster in League 2. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to the latest matchday preview for the channel. Doncaster Rovers travelling to Bradford in League 2. Big game towards the top end of the table. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and continuing to do so. It does really mean the world to me. If this video has brought you to the channel and you are new, consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And if you are new, this is a format that we go through match previews, look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I choose the opponent's one to watch. I think you can already guess who that's going to be, but as I always say, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else that should be part of the conversation at that point, get them in the comments down below. And then we finish the video with 3 predictions, the predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. Me and the family have got the predictions league table, so there's an update on that, and then the all important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Donny and Bradford have faced off a total of 90 times in our history, and it's better reading for Bradford fans than Donny fans. Rovers coming out on top on 28 occasions, Bradford 36, and we've shared the spoils 26 times. And drilling down into the more recent 5 fixtures, I think it's winless in 7 for Donny, but more recent 5, we go back to 2022-23 season, it was 0-0 draw away from home, a 1-0 defeat at home, and then last season we played each other 3 times. Mad Friday was a very difficult game to watch and a disappointing result, 3-1 defeat at home. And then the league trophy, the Bristol Street Motors trophy, it was a 1-0 away defeat in a game that we probably should have won. And then a little bit later on in the season, the return fixture was a 1-1 draw away from home as well, in another game that we probably should have won. So yeah, hopefully that's not the pattern that's going to continue and we get the 3 points tomorrow. But yeah, it's not been a happy hunting ground or a positive game to watch between Bradford and Donny for us Rovers fans in more recent times. Current form as well probably leans towards Bradford over Donny, purely because of our defeat midweek. Looking at that, it's 3 wins each, a draw for Donny and a defeat. Bradford with the 2 draws sandwiching 3 wins. So yeah, Bradford coming into this one with slightly better form. I think they'll be coming into it with a bit more confidence than Donny as well. Like I say, 5 unbeaten, they've scored 9 in the last 5, only conceding 4. So yeah, getting goals fairly solid at the back. It's a good combination to have for sure. Bradford, they're a team that are on the rise at the moment, find themselves in 5th, just 1 point behind Donny. So huge game, absolute 6-pointer towards the top end of the table at this early stage of the season. But yeah, I've already kind of touched on it. It's slightly better attacking return and more solid at the back than Donny so far this season for Bradford, and I think that'll just be adding to the confidence that they'll have of a huge 3 points in this one. Donny though, same old story came to haunt us midweek, with the staff and players, more so the players, being unable to break down a well-drilled, organised team. I mentioned the staff in that McCann came out and kind of made his frustrations very clear, but sitting from the stands, I think we were just very poor in our decision making, and for me that has to come from the staff on the sideline as well. The amount of long balls that we played into the box, which were just getting eaten up by the Bromley keeper, or the back line, which had an average height of over 6 foot. They were huge. They were just dealing with absolutely everything, and I don't know if the message just didn't get across or it wasn't even given, but we just didn't mix it up enough. So that's why the staff's included in that, but the players really let the club and fans down on Tuesday night, in my opinion. Really not so much poor performance because we had chances, but it was something that I feared it'd be another game like Crewe, Harrogate, Barrow, where the team will sit in and we just find it really difficult to find the answer and break them down and find that opening. And we were finding spaces to shoot and things, but it was either met by that brick wall of a defence or the goalkeeper, which he had an absolute worldie of a game, probably game of his life. But we just weren't inventive enough, and we've got to be better in the final thirds, defensive third and the attacking third, if we're going to get anything from this one tomorrow, and it's one that I do fear for. I was a little bit optimistic before Tuesday night, but it's not the wind out my sails, even though I kind of expected Bromley to do exactly what they did, and more than likely get a result. I thought we'd get a draw out of it, but yeah, ended up getting the defeat and just huffed and puffed and didn't get anything. So if we play like that tomorrow, it's going to be a difficult afternoon for us. Moving on to player profile, slightly different with this one. I've not gone with a player, I've gone with Grant McCann. I've kind of touched on it previously that he's got a massive headache going into tomorrow's fixture. With team selection, players just aren't quite clicking. There's something not quite right. He's come out a number of times now and said about the ruthlessness of the attacking players. So yeah, there's been a couple of times this season where he's come out and not been happy with the performance of the players. So he's great to see him back at the club. I think he's built a really strong squad over the couple of windows that he's had over the last couple of seasons, and I don't think there's anybody better out there to lead us forward in our future. So I'm really glad that he is back. I think we're still light in a couple of areas to give us a few more options and a different dimension. So I think we will see additions coming in January as well. But for me, we should have enough, along with his managerial ability and the staff that he's got around him, to get out of this division. It's just really disappointing to see results like Tuesday night, and it really does just kind of, like I say, it knocks the wind out your sails. I don't want to sound entitled because you've got to earn every 3 points in League Two, but your likes of Harrogate and Bromley, if we have got the aspirations of winning the title, which I'm personally not bothered about, top three is enough for me, then they're the teams that we should really be beating, but we've not managed to this season. So yeah, big headache for Grant and his team to find out what's not quite clicking and make it right, and hopefully it starts tomorrow. On to the opponents one to watch. So as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than I do, and I think you'll know who I'm going with this one, because it's pretty much the player that I go with every time we face Bradford, because he's an absolute menace, and it is Andy Cook, 34 years old, centre forward, 613 career appearances, 239 goals, 52 assists, and he just scores goals at this level, doesn't he? Terrorises defences. He's big, strong, just so industrious, knows where the net is, but he can move a bit as well, to be fair to him. Big lad, but he finds the space, he finds the areas that he needs to be in, and he knows where the back of the net is. And at this level, at any level, if you've got a striker that knows where the back of the net is and can get into positions, you're going to do alright. And yeah, he's shown over the last couple of seasons with his goal returns. He's already got 10 this season, goal contributions, either scoring or an assist. We're only 12-13 games in, so yeah, very valuable to Bradford, and if he's on fire, it's going to be a difficult afternoon. On to the predicted team lineup. So this is thanks to FanHub, and I'm hoping that the gentleman that I spoke to on Tuesday night before the game is watching, because he had a constructive criticism about my positions of centre back. So this is what I'm going to go with in this one. I've swapped them around just for you. He wasn't happy that I had right-footed centre backs at the left-hand side and left-footed at the right-hand side. So I've tried to improve on that. I don't know if I've got it spot on. I'm sure you'll let me know next time I see you. But yeah, I've got Sharman Lowe in goal. Back four of Sterry, Olowu, McGrath and Fleming. I think maybe a little bit too early for Maxwell. It looked a little bit lacking in match sharpness on Tuesday night, so probably Fleming back in. Bailey, Kelly and Clifton in the midfield. Molyneux and Hurst on the wings, with Billy Sharp up front on his own. So a couple of changes in there from what started Tuesday night. We will see if that's what Grant McCann goes with tomorrow. Onto the predictions league table, not much change in this one. If you watched the match day vlog from Tuesday night, if you haven't, I'll link it in the top corner of the screen. We went with wins and draws, so no points given, so it's still extremely tight, with my dad bottom on 6, me in third on 8 points, and Chris and Max joint first on 9 points. And that takes me on to the score prediction, and this one's a tough one to call, because I think had we have won Tuesday night, I'd have probably been coming into this one a little bit more confident, although we don't tend to do well against Bradford. But yeah, I think with the results, we were the only team to be beaten in the top 6, top 7 on Tuesday night. I'm hoping for a response from the Rovers, but I just can't see it. It'll be a big crowd, and if you follow this channel for any period of time, you know that Donny and big crowds don't tend to do particularly well in the league. So unfortunately, I'm going for the side of Bradford, and it's going to be a tough one for us. I am going Bradford 2, Rovers 1. Hope I'm wrong. Hope we get a response. I hope we get a reaction. And it'd be a very Donny Rovers thing to do, wouldn't it? Be beat by Bromley when you're expected to win. Don't expect to win at Bradford. Probably turn them over 2 or 3-0. But I always predict with my head and not my heart, so that's what I'm sticking with. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. If you've enjoyed it, big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Let me know your score predictions, any changes in the lineup, and how you think Bradford are going to do if you're a Bradford fan, and how you think, kind of your thoughts on Tuesday night as well. I do like reading the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, and all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.